All right, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here on this very stormy night, at least in central Iowa. I am Britta Dimmler, and we're talking about foundations for our health or of our health. And actually, I want you to, if you have a piece of paper and a pen, I want you to grab that. And I'm actually going to ask you a question, and I want you to do a little homework. And if you don't have it, at least jot it down that you can do this later. So I want you to think about and make a list of 15 priorities you have in life. So, like what's important to you? What are your priorities right now? And go ahead and jot down at least five. Okay. And hopefully we can, as we're thinking of like that might come pretty quickly, right? So whatever your top five priorities are. If anybody wants to put them into the chat, one or two or whatever, that would be awesome. Because, and I just realized, did I not hit record? I am recording. Okay, sorry. But I would love to hear what your priorities are. Okay. So if I had Jeopardy music, if I was more prepared, I'd have music playing here that you can listen to. But I just want you to think about, and also think about, is it hard to think about what your priorities are, or do they just come really quickly? I'm seeing a couple of shakes of the head. Like, is it hard to come up with some of these? Can you at least come up with five? Most of you? Okay. You have two. Donna has two. And it's hard. Yeah, it is hard sometimes, right? So hopefully, think about, well, as we're thinking about our priorities, did your health make the list? With whatever ones you wrote down, did you write down health? Yeah. Did you write down your mental well-being, like your emotions? Oh, like sometimes we're so busy doing things, right? That we forget to take care of ourselves. Maybe did your spiritual life make the list? Sometimes we forget about emotions and spiritual, whatever it is that's giving we all need some kind of spiritual foundation, right? Something to when things get really crazy. So dogs, husband, family, house. And it might be in that order. I don't know. Sometimes sometimes our dogs demand attention, right? So retiring, kids, grandkids, marriage, and health. So, okay. I just want you to think about that because again, life can be hectic. We often find ourselves last on the list, especially if or if you're a parent of little people, or you are in a season of your life that maybe it's work is the priority, and you have lots of demands on your time, right, and on your focus. So if you find yourself last or pushed down on the scale of your list of priorities, do something every day to move yourself towards your health goals. Okay. And this can be that, okay, I'm going to drink more water every day, and like I'm going to drink one glass more, right? If I drink one or two right now, I'm going to drink three tomorrow. It might be that I go for a walk. It might be, that I go to bed earlier. And so as we talk about this class tonight and about our priorities and foundations for our health, like this is the basic stuff that if we don't get these foundations right, it doesn't matter how many oils we throw at this or how many supplements or how many of anything else. If our foundations aren't right, then our health is really being affected. Okay. And it's taken a beating. So, you may have heard it said, show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities. And so think about, what does your daily routine look like? And maybe where can you make improvements, right? A few years ago, I decided that my spiritual life needed to be a higher priority. And so every morning, well, I'm not going to say every morning, probably at least 5 mornings a week, I sit down and I drink some water and I drink my coffee and I do my devotions, right? Because that's a priority. A year ago, I decided exercise needs to be a priority. And so I do my best, and probably 3 to 4 days a week, I put exercise in there in my morning routine as well, right? So I'm not perfect, and on the days that I don't get it done, I don't spend a lot of time anymore beating myself up. I might be like, oh, I missed that one again. But it's more about being aware of what is it that I say are my priorities and how is my schedule showing that it really is, right? So just this is not a class to get down on yourself. It's a class to encourage you to make one change a day or maybe one change this week, enhance one thing in your life, right? Okay, so think of a way you can do that is think about your day in 3 8-hour periods. So you have one for work. Most of us have some kind of work to do, right? Even if you're retired, you still have work to do. One for sleep, and 1 8-hour period for building relationships and revitalizing yourself in your mind, body, and spirit. And again, that is it's not selfish. Sometimes I think when we say take me time, take time for you, we think, oh, that's so selfish. I can't do that, right? But we need to take time, not all the time, but we do need to make ourselves a priority at some point. So many people don't think about their health until it interferes with their activities of daily living. And this is reactive thinking. One of the things I love about Young Living and about how we teach and what our focus is on is that we are about prevention, right? We are about doing things beforehand so that XYZ doesn't happen. And I have the scary diagnosis, which I'm teaching on in a couple weeks on Table Talk. So make sure you tune into that. So health begins with prevention, but many times we're asked for recommendations based on diagnoses, right? So how many times do you get the diagnosis, and then you're like, oh crap, now what do I do? And so then we're scrambling. So we need to go back to the foundations of health and explore any breakdowns first. And our symptoms, physical symptoms, emotional symptoms, all of that are warning signs. And the last things that we notice, but the first to go away. So think about pain, right? We are actually, we're in the process of moving, and I'm carrying a lot of boxes right now and a lot of things that I would not normally be carrying. And man, I am feeling it, right? And I can sit and ignore that every day and live with the pain and wait until something more happens. But this morning I was like, I have to go to the chiropractor. Like even though I'm still going to be moving boxes, I need the adjustment now. Because, and you know what, it wasn't my back and shoulders, which have been hurting for a couple of days. It's because my elbow started hurting. And I'm like, I have to pick up these boxes. I have to fix this, right? So that pain, it moved from where my back and shoulders is saying, you need attention here, to now my elbow where I really do need to do something. So some cells in our body are replaced very quickly while others never regenerate, and conditions affecting cells with high turnover rates respond faster. So think about your digestive system. When we make changes to our diet, changes to maybe the amount of water we take in, when we start a detox, something like that, we can see a difference in 1 to 2 weeks. Okay. Blood regenerates every day. So that, again, that's a fast regeneration. Skin, it can take up to 30 days. And your liver, which most of us need to give our liver a lot of support, it can take 6 to 12 months on a full commitment to see maximum benefits. So again, when we think about, like I am doing, I do Juvitone every night. And I do it, if I remember to take my supplements in the morning, I do it twice a day. And I've done that for years. And part of that is because I want to protect my liver and I want to support it. I want to give it the extra attention it needs so that I don't end up in a situation where now I have, I don't know, eczema and I have rashes and I have all these things happening because I've not been supporting my liver, which is my detox, the biggest detox part of the body, and it filters everything and all of that. Okay, so all that's the background. What are the foundations of health? We have actually 9, and we're going to cover 4 tonight. So we're going to talk about air tonight. We're going to talk about water, food, and sunlight. And then next week, we're going to talk about exercise, rest, and emotional stability. And then if we have time, we'll do some body and energy work. Because again, pain is a warning sign. So joint stiffness, redness, and a weak, faint feeling are all warning signs. And then spirituality, okay, which we'll kind of hopefully wrap those up. And that's actually in 2 weeks. All right, so let's do a deep dive into air, okay? You're in Young Living, you kind of have, hopefully you've kind of got a understanding of air and air quality. But if you're brand new to this, you might be like, what is she talking about? Air, right? So when we think of air pollution, we might imagine smoggy streets and busy cities, okay? Um, I've learned, I grew up in Iowa and I live in Iowa in the country. I've learned that sometimes that air pollution is the sprays that they're doing in the air, right? When they're spraying fields or when they're whatever it is they're doing. I've learned that the air pollution is when I fill my car up with gas and I'm breathing in those smoke fumes, right? I've learned that the air pollution comes from my tires and the wear and as the tread comes off, right? And all of that, it gets into the air as well. So it's much more than just a smoggy street in busy cities. We often don't picture our home as part of the problem. And the shocking fact is that the air inside your home is generally between 2 and 5 times more polluted than the air outside. Okay. And this is according to the Environmental Protection Agency in 2021. So I have a lot of mixed feelings about the government agencies, let's just say, but when they're saying that the air inside of our houses are 2 to 5 times more toxic than the air outside, that's pretty bad. Okay. So think about what's causing that. Candles, air fresheners, room sprays, bath and body stuff. You know, we have a teenager and we use oils and thieves in our house. But we had chosen not to fight when the teenagers are, you know, when they get in their mind, they want to smell like everybody else. And they can spray something and it permeates our house. And Kirk and I are just like, open the windows, right? Because we're so far removed from that kind of stuff now because of the choices that we've made, that we definitely notice it. So our environment affects our health. And think about what we breathe, what we drink, what we ingest, and even what we touch. It all affects our health. Nothing else matters if our homes negate the lifestyle actions that we're making. So hidden, undisclosed toxins in the products we purchase for our homes are of greater risk to our health than any environmental air pollution that we're exposed to, since we spend 90% of our time indoors, especially, you know, right now, it's just coming into spring, right? And we're finally able to get outside and maybe spend a little bit more time out when it's not raining. But so much of our winter, and really no matter where you live, it's spent with everything closed up tight, right? We close the windows and some of us plastic over them and, you know, to keep the wind out and all the things. And so think about all of that stuff that we're breathing. Toxins enter the body easily when we breathe them in, and they absorb across our skin and we ingest them. And this results in their ability to accumulate in the body. So if you've heard of bioaccumulation, that's what we're talking about now. And Randy says the smell is attached to new furniture and carpeting. Yes, it's awful. And they spray, you know, especially when you do like the Scotchgard or stuff on your carpet, right? They spray stuff on it to protect it. But what's it doing to our health, or what's it doing to the health of our pets and our kids and the people that we love? Fragrance. Hopefully, you've done some deep dive maybe into fragrance. If you haven't, just know that it's one of the most dangerous words in the English language, at least when it's found on an ingredient list. The word fragrance or perfume may actually refer to a blend of many undisclosed ingredients, all bundled up under the umbrella of one word. It's a trade secret for whatever the company is when they say fragrance, and then they don't have to tell us what's in it. In 2015, the International Fragrance Association released a master list of more than 4,000 chemicals used by most manufacturers. The list includes carcinogens, endocrine disruptors, reproductive toxicants, and numerous allergens, just to name a few things. And more than 75% of American homes use air fresheners, candles. Studies are finding that 12 of 14 air fresheners used in those homes contain endocrine disrupting phthalates. Endocrine disrupting means that it messes with our endocrine system, which is our hormonal system, right? It's our temperature regulator. It affects our thyroid. It affects all the things. If you are in our groups, we are doing a series this month on hormones. So make sure you're tuning into those each week and looking at, what are the ways that the endocrine system is being disrupted, right? So Young Living offers easy switches for air fresheners, candles, and plug-in products. Most people get started with a diffuser, and I want you to tell me in the comments, what is your favorite diffuser? you know, we have so many choices now, you know, and then I'm just looking around my office and I have a Lucia here. I have a Macaron over there. I've got an Ember. I've got what's the one that has the two? It's a straight oil diffuser. I just totally the Duet, and I have an Aria, all within my office up here. Now they're not all running at once necessarily, but I have them available so that if I feel like, you know, different, I'm in a different mood for something, I can easily use them, right? And then they're throughout my house too, you can imagine. So the Wander, the travel one, that was a great one. And then think about what are your favorite oils or oil blends. Hopefully you have some around you, right? Right now I have Valor sitting here on my desk. I've got, these are from Japan, Spirit Wings, which smells, I think this is their Motivation. And we have Blue Relief, which I think is either Cool Azul or I think it's Cool Azul is what it is. And then I have my Shell Ginger, which is so yummy. So you need to see me if you can see me anytime soon. If I'm going to be out doing a class, you need to come see me so you can smell those oils because those are pretty amazing. So you can, you know, obviously just drop a few drops of oil into your diffuser. You can dump, you know, a lot of us only do 2 or 3. Sometimes you just need a few more. So don't freak out. If you know, sometimes it's kind of like if you've ever poured one on your hand and all of a sudden you go for 1 drop, but you get 6, right? Because your body is pulling them, your frequency of your body is pulling them out. That's sometimes what happens when you put it in the diffuser too. Just start the diffuser. You can also grab a 2 or 4 ounce spray bottle, add 20 to 40 drops of your favorite essential oils or your blend. And you can even add a pinch of salt to your spray bottle if you desire, just to kind of help it be more emulsified, and mix and spray. And I really want to encourage you, think about what your favorite oil is and then be a walking diffuser. So apply those oils to your wrist, put them on your chest, on the back of your neck, you know, your hair, a scarf, or even on your clothing. I do, hopefully you guys know about the Great Day Protocol. We do that. I try to do that every day. Again, you know, it's a work in progress, and usually I'm doing it probably 5 to 6 times a week. But just it's gotten to the point where I don't necessarily smell it, but if I'll go to a meeting or something and one of my friends will go, "You smell really good." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Right? I don't know which one it is because I have 8 on right now because I do more than just a Great Day. But it's, you know, I'm being a human diffuser, so I'm getting the benefit for myself, but I'm also blessing everyone I come in contact with, right? Another thing we have to consider are cleaning products, right? So tell me, again, in the chat, or you can unmute yourself right now if you would like to share a favorite diffuser, maybe recipe, a body spray, Young Living oil body spray that you have, or your favorite cleaning product. Okay, who wants to, like, we'll take 2 or 3 people, so unmute quickly and tell me your favorite. Help inspire somebody to try something new. Go ahead, Donna.
Well, my favorite oil is almost any citrus oil. I consider it perfume, room freshening. I just love them, all of them.
Good. So you usually diffuse, or you put them on?
Oh, I do both.
Okay.
I love to diffuse citrus sprays or orange, and I've been known to wear orange or lemon. Or both.
Great. Yep. Great oils. We've been doing a lot of traveling, and I had tangerine, and I had like 4 or 5 oils because I made a blend for somebody, and they were in my purse, and I said, "Kirk, what do you want?" And I pulled out patchouli. He goes, "Not patchouli." But then I pulled out tangerine and Northern Lights, and that's what we diffused for a couple of days as we were driving around, and it smells great, right? And so play around with them and I don't know, you know, so one day I put probably 3 or 4 drops of one of them in, and the next day that maybe it was 4 or 5 or 6, you know, of the different ones. It was never the same. It's kind of like how my husband cooks, but it was fine. And it was, you know, it just helped clear the air and clean and help keep our attitudes a little bit better too. All right. Anybody else want to share a favorite diffuser? What's your favorite cleaning well, what's your favorite cleaning product? I know you're gonna say household cleaner, but what's your favorite? Maybe what here is better. What's your favorite thing to clean with Thieves products? Anybody have a favorite?
Everything.
Okay. How many of you have cleaned your oven with the Thieves household cleaner and or the kitchen and bath scrub? Okay, little tip, if you have a mess on the bottom of the oven, throw that bath scrub stuff on there, the kitchen and bath scrub, and just let it sit. Then I sprayed it down with Thieves household cleaner and just let it sit for a little bit. It wiped up so amazing. And Randy says he loves to clean the interior of his car. You know what, Randy, you can come over and clean my car anytime because I was looking at it all these miles. I'm like, oh, it needs to be clean. But that's the great thing is that we can use our household cleaner everywhere, right? So literally it can be the one product that you have. And Heather says, or Laura, I'm sorry, says carpet stains for the household cleaner and the dish soap combination. That's awesome. That's also great to get out your stains and your clothes. So, okay. Keep sharing those, keep sharing your suggestions in the comments. We're going to move on to water. How many of you have a glass of water with you or have recently drank some water? Hopefully everyone will raise their hand there. Water is super important because our bodies are approximately 65% water and the brain and the heart are composed of 73% water. Your lungs, 83%. That's a lot of water, you guys. Your muscles and your kidneys are 79% water. Your skin is 64%. And your bones are 31%. So the importance of water to the body is second only to oxygen. Okay, and think about that. If we don't have oxygen, we die, right? Same thing with water. If we don't have water in our cells, then things are going to go haywire. So water is needed by the brain to manufacture hormones and neurotransmitters. Water regulates body temperature through sweating and respiration. Water acts as a shock absorber for the brain and the spinal cord. It converts foods to components needed for survival and aids in digestion through enzyme-rich foods to help maintain homeostasis, such as pH balance. Water is neutral and right at 7.0 pH, okay? Water helps deliver oxygen all over the body, and water can dissolve more substances than any other liquid. Without water, our body doesn't function well. And if someone complains of pain, we have to start with water. Okay. And so think about that. If you have a headache, or if you have even, back pain or something that's unexplained, go drink a glass of water and just see if that helps, because you're giving your body just the water and the fluid that it might need to help balance those cells and maybe give it a cushion. Okay. Because sometimes especially if we're dehydrated, that can really affect us. So the general rule is to consume half your body weight in ounces. And if you drink caffeine, and that's coffee, soda, energy drinks, shame on you if you're drinking energy drinks. And somebody knows who I'm talking to right now. I still drink my coffee though, so I'm not criticizing too much. But if you drink caffeine, you should also drink extra water. So if you drink 8 ounces of coffee, add another 8 ounces of water to negate the diuretic effect. Okay. Ice water or cold water. How many of you love ice water that you're like, I only drink it if it's really cold? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's actually slowing your digestion and it inhibits the absorption of nutrients due to constriction of the blood vessels in the digestive tract, and it lowers your heart rate. So water consumption, it's best to drink room temperature water. Okay. So every night before you go to bed, if you don't have to drink water necessarily before you go to bed, although you can, but fill up a glass of water and have it sitting on the counter and then drink it when you get up in the morning. And that room temperature water, just plain water, it helps to flood your body, and it really will wake up your digestive system as well as help all the cells function better. So water consumption should be limited during meals. They recommend 4 to 8 ounces with a meal, or it throws off your pH of the stomach. Okay, so we want to, alkaline and acidity in the stomach. If we drink too much water or too much of any liquid, it can throw that off. Also spread your water throughout the day for proper hydration, absorption, and to not overwhelm the kidneys. Ideally, you drink 8 ounces upon rising, like I said, and then 4 to 8 ounces depending on your weight per hour. Your body is hydrated if your urine is pale straw yellow in color every few hours. Okay. So, I don't know if how many of you have done the Ningxia challenge? Anybody here done Ningxia challenge? Okay. One of the things that we do the first 3 days is we drink 12 ounces of Ningxia and 100 ounces of water. That's the goal, right? And how many of you, when you started that, you're like, I am spending all my time in the bathroom. I have to go all day long and I'm just running and I'm getting nothing done. And like every time I sit down, I'm going back to the bathroom, right? If you continue to drink your water, because that's an inconvenience, and sometimes people are like, okay, I'm done because I'm not gonna do that. If you continue to drink your water, your body actually starts to make use of it, and it's able to absorb it and really take it in so that you're not spending all day in the bathroom. Okay, so make sure this and with summer coming up and the warmer weather and all of that, this is the perfect time to start drinking more water. So think about 4 to 8 ounces. That's like this much water, right, in a cup. So it'd be like this much toward the bottom of my cup is 4 to 4 ounces. This is so half of this is 8 ounces, right? When we think about when we go get a coffee, well, let me back up. Have you ever seen like the little coffee cups like that come with China? Like the fancy coffee cups, that's 6 to 8 ounces. Okay. And somebody will give me one of those cups. And I'm like, this is like nothing. I want like the big cup. Give me the big girl cup, right? The 12 and like a regular coffee cup that most of us are drinking out of is probably 16 to 20 ounces. Okay. And that's the coffee cup we drink out of at home, most of us. So if you're thinking, oh, I can't drink that much water, I'm drinking 2 coffee cups every morning of coffee, and that's a diuretic. So I'm definitely in the bathroom. So make sure that you're just adding some smaller doses of water throughout the day. Okay, all that to say. All right, the body needs water that's 100% pure hydrogen and oxygen. So sources of pure water are fresh, organically grown fruits and vegetables and their juices. So think about like cantaloupe, grapefruit, watermelon, strawberries. Those are all 90 to 92% of water. Broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, sweet peppers, and spinach are 91 to 93% water. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to do my best to increase my fruits and vegetables, but I just cannot drink water all day long like they tell me to, choose those kinds of things. Okay. Again, cantaloupe, grapefruit, watermelon, strawberries, 90 to 92% water. And then broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, sweet peppers, and spinach, 91 to 93% water. Not have pictured that in my head, right? Like I never would go to those especially those vegetables and go, oh yeah, this is mostly water. Another way to get pure water is distilled water. So that is boiled, evaporated, and then the vapor condensed. Rainwater is naturally distilled. Now, depending on where you're getting it from, again, how smoggy and polluted your environment is, you may need to boil it afterwards. But you can get Berkey water filters as well. And then I know there's another brand, and I can't think of it right now. Just do a little research on water filters to make sure that it actually is filtering out the bad stuff. And just a note on bottled water, which most of us probably drink a lot of bottled water. 55% of US bottled water is spring water. But 45% is bottled for the municipal water supply. Okay, so Aquafina and Dasani are bottled from the municipal water supply. So think about like Des Moines Water Works. Okay, and if you look on the bottle, sometimes you'll see, it's bottled in, I don't know. Well, if it said Des Moines, right, I'd be like, okay, there's no natural spring in Des Moines. I would not drink that water, right? Because I might as well go get the tap. But just think about, and double check. So better quality of bottled water would be Crystal Geyser. And Arrowhead, I think still is better. Oh goodness, I just blanked on there's a tall bottle. I can't think of it right now. Reverse osmosis water is good, but it takes out all the minerals. So you actually need to add more minerals back in. And Mineral Essence is a great option, definitely. Even doing like a pinch of salt back into your water it can be helpful for that. Okay. So make sure that you're, well, just do a little bit of research. And I believe reverse osmosis water, a lot of times in the systems, they will like take everything out, but then they have another step of that reverse osmosis that puts the minerals back in. So if you're drinking reverse osmosis, just make sure it puts the minerals back in. So what's your favorite way to drink water? Okay, what kind of bottle do you have? I have found that I don't necessarily like drinking with a straw. Are you a straw person? Does that make you drink more water? I found actually I like having a glass more than I do a bottle that I have to even flip up or open. Right. I do not drink as much water when I'm out and about because it just the unscrewing, which is so weird. But I see there somebody has a Stanley. So Debbie would just drink out of her Stanley. So that's probably her water. It's a Stanley like, if not a Stanley. But maybe that's like your glass. If you have a favorite thing, you guys literally start carrying it with you and keep it close to you so that you can drink your water, right? If you are thirsty, that means you're actually dehydrated. Okay. And so a lot of times at night, when I haven't drank a lot during the day, I'm like, I'm so thirsty. And then I want to just guzzle water. And then guess what happens? I'm up in the night, right? So make sure that you're spreading or do your best to spread it out throughout the day and really get some benefit and keep your cells flooded. Now, some of you may love the Young Living Vitality Drops, right? And this is a great way to flavor your water, especially if you're one of those people that's like, oh, I can't drink that much water. It's just so blah. I don't love it. Flavor it with the Vitality Drops. This is the grapefruit bergamot and jade lemon berry. This has electrolytes added. This one has energy added. I'm not sure how. Maybe you're adding. Donna mentioned that she loves to add citrus oils, right, to things. So adding those citrus oils is a great thing. And in fact, in the comments, tell me what you love to add to your water. Let's see. Citrus oils are great. Peppermint, spearmint, fennel. Some people love to add fennel, jade lemon, cinnamon, clove, lavender, and you can really experiment for your own personal taste to figure out what is it that you love. So, another thing you can add to your water is AminoWise. And this actually enhances muscle performance. It reduces fatigue and it supports muscles during and after exercise using a triple targeted formula that features branched chain amino acids, premium essential oils, antioxidants, and minerals. So the amino acids really, it's kind of those, and the minerals, it helps replenish things in our body. It's a powder that we can add. It's a flavor. It has a flavor to it. And then we have the daily prebiotic fiber. How many of you have used this? This used to be called ICP Daily. It's daily prebiotic fiber now. It's an entirely plant-based soluble drink that helps you out whether you're cooking at home or indulging in takeout, which is a good thing. It gives you the extra fiber that we need. So this daily prebiotic fiber contains 6 grams of prebiotics and 5 grams of soluble fiber that helps to support your gut microbiome. This drink mix helps fuel your body's healthy gut bacteria, along with supporting your digestive and immune health and cleansing metabolic toxins. So that's everything you need to start feeling good from the inside out. This is gentle on your stomach, so you can take it every day, and it helps maintain regular digestion when it's difficult to eat enough fiber-rich foods. This is amazing for travel, especially. But if you are not having regular bowel movements, and by regular, I mean at least once a day, you probably need to get on some of this or Comfortone, right? Because our body needs extra fiber to get things moving inside. Okay. Let's see. And some of you like to reuse your kombucha bottle, which is a great idea. So you're very economical as well. Glass water bottles, adding thieves to your water, peppermint and lemon. And sulfurzyme powder is a great option too. Yes. So again, it's another way to flavor, and you don't have to do it every time, right? But just sometimes when you need that little boost. Another thing, every afternoon, I enjoy drinking my Nimsha with water, right? And so maybe you'll do a packet and fill up my glass with water. So I just have a little bit of juice. I used to do that with my kids when they were little. I'd give them a little squirt, maybe I don't know, an ounce or two of juice and fill it with water because I wanted them drinking the water, not just all the sweeteners, right? So think about it for yourself too, if that would be helpful to you. Okay, so we're moving into nutrition here. So typical American diets exceed the recommended intake levels of added sugars, refined grains, sodium, and trans fats. We eat less than the recommended amounts of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, dairy products, and oil. Since the 1970s, the number of fast food restaurants has more than doubled. It's probably more than tripled by now. And empty calories from added sugars and fats contribute to 40% of total daily calories for 2 to 18-year-olds. And half of these empty calories come from 6 sources. You ready? Soda, this is 2 to 18. So those little kids, right? The developing brains and into teenagers. Comes from soda, fruit drinks, dairy desserts, grain desserts, pizza, and whole milk. 1 in 3, so 36% of American adults are obese, and 1 in 6, or 18% of children ages 2 to 19 are considered obese. A lot of that is from these empty calories and from not drinking water. We're not teaching our kids to drink water. We need proteins, carbohydrates, and fats in our diet, and each one has to be assimilated in order to be converted into energy to sustain our health. Nutrition should be a focus and something we teach. The food pyramid has finally recognized fruits and vegetables as the basis of good health. So they moved fruits and vegetables to the bottom of the pyramid, finally. Whole grains and plant oils are second. Legumes, nuts, and seeds are next. And then eggs, fish, poultry, and plant proteins are fourth. And meat, including dairy, soy, and red meat, are best eaten at a minimum. Sugar and processed foods are at the very top, meaning 0 to 1 serving a day on the food pyramid. And again, that's from the government. So this means most of us need to increase the volume of fresh organic vegetables and fruits that we eat. So you can get a blender, a food processor, or a juicer and concentrate the nutrients, and you're getting even more bang for your buck when you do that. Smoothies taste good. They supply you with daily vitamins and minerals. They're easy to do. Make sure that you're washing your fruit and vegetables with our fruit and veggie wash. Sorry, that's one side, right? So hopefully you're using this. And if you're in a pinch and you don't have the fruit and veggie wash, you can add some citrus oils or even the household cleaner to water. My daughter graduated a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to bring fruit and veggie wash, but I had some household cleaner, and that's what we cleaned our fruit and veggies with, and it was just fine. One of the things I love about the reset, the Ningxia 14-day reset, is they're talking about nutrition in that, right? So again, it's if you are like, I don't know which diet or which plan to choose, because it's not really a diet. I mean, as we talk about nutrition, it's not just I'm doing this for a week or 2 weeks, and then I go back to eating the way I've always eaten, right? It's more about making those lifestyle changes. And so if we just, again, make one change. So maybe it's I'm eating a vegetable every day, right? Or I'm actually going to eat some fruit, 1 serving a day. I'm going to start small. Or it might be that I'm just adding the Ningxia greens to my drink every day, right? So I'm getting that extra serving in. Making those small choices is huge. So everything that we eat has energy. And it is energy. So vitamins and minerals equate to levels of real energy. Remember that our thoughts and our actions are energy, and our brain and digestive system are linked to the messages that we send. So the average diet of a typical person is grossly lacking in key nutrients. In addition to a lack of nutrients, food is being packed with preservatives, salts, sugars, and other fillers, which can be addicting and usually contain those empty calories. So look for foods that incorporate cultured or fermented foods. These help break down complex substances like gluten or sugar into simpler parts, usually with the help of bacteria, yeast, and fungi. These make the foods easier to digest. It increases the availability of vitamins and nutrients and promotes the gut flora. So think about foods like kefir, yogurt. Make sure, though, that they don't have a lot of sugar in them, okay? So you do need to watch the sugar amounts in those. Raw cheese, sauerkraut, kimchi, which is fermented cabbage, tiff, miso, natto, or kombucha. And I love that some of you are already drinking kombucha. Anti-inflammatory foods can actually lower the inflammatory response in the body. So fruits and vegetables, whole grains, nuts and beans, fatty fish, fresh herbs, and spices are all good anti-inflammatory things. Anti-inflammatory diseases often start in the gut as autoimmune reactions, which progress into systemic inflammation. Dr. Andrew Weil said, I'm convinced that the single most important thing you can do to counter chronic inflammation is to stop eating refined, processed, and manufactured foods, right? I've heard so many times over the years that when you go to the grocery store, shop the outside aisles. You don't need to go in the middle. But how many of us are spending a lot of time going up and down all those middle aisles, picking out our favorite comfort foods, right? Which really they're not helping us. So we talked kind of about sugar already. Sugar contains no essential nutrients. It can overload the liver and lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I am hearing more and more about non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So this is becoming a pandemic for people, and a real issue. So, cut back on that sugar. And that includes grains, because grains have a lot of sugar, and the way that our body converts it is not good. So sugar can also cause insulin resistance. It provides an optimal environment for growth of cancer cells. It promotes the storage of fat and is the leading contributor of obesity in both kids and adults. It's highly addictive as it triggers a massive release of dopamine, which is our feel-good hormone, and it's 8 times more addictive than cocaine, and that's sugar, okay, is 8 times more addictive than cocaine. Sugar also raises cholesterol and leads to cardiovascular disease. But we also have to be aware of artificial sweeteners, because those can increase weight gain by preventing the association of sweetness with caloric intake, leading to craving more sweets. Sucralose takes the sugar molecule and binds chlorine to it, which alters how the thyroid utilizes iodine. It decreases beneficial bacteria in the gut and raises the pH of the intestines. So if you're having thyroid issues and you're eating a lot of things that contain sucralose, just making that change, taking that out of your diet, may be really beneficial. Neurotoxins or poisons that act on the nervous system and cross the blood-brain barrier include aspartame, sucralose, diacetyl, which is artificial butter flavoring, often used in microwave popcorn, MSG, and aluminum. So all of those are bad things as well. So try to get them out. So a natural calorie sweetener, stevia. Hopefully you've heard of stevia before. This is a shrub native to tropical and subtropical America. It's actually 100 to 200 times sweeter than sugar. We want to ideally use organic non-GMO brands and avoid Truvia. So that's another big name that some people have gone to. It's a processed blend of stevia and erythritol made from GMO corn. So you do not want Truvia. This can actually blow out your sweet receptors in the tongue. Does not sound very fun. So how do we break the sugar addiction cycle? I don't know if does anybody feel like you're in that addiction cycle, that the more I eat, the more I want, and I just can't break it. So best thing is to go cold turkey. First 72 hours are really tough, but the following days will have fewer cravings and more energy. Drinking water can help to break the sugar cravings. If before you eat anything, drink a glass of water. Okay, it will help you feel fuller. And you might just decide that you don't want to do it. A lot of times our cravings for food come from emotional feelings, right? Or emotions. We're bored, we're anxious, we're distraught, we're discouraged, we're whatever. And so maybe drink a glass of water, and while you're drinking the water, think about, how am I feeling right now? And am I really hungry, or am I just trying to cover up what I'm feeling, and deal with it? Choose your sweets carefully. So choose a fruit instead. Choose dark chocolate or a very small dessert can help prevent emotional turmoil of feeling deprived, because that's probably one of the biggest things when we're saying in our mind, I can't have this, then what do we say? What's our body do? I don't want that in our mind, right? I want it, I must have it. So you can give yourself a small treat of it, or try some dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is better. So the higher the chocolate content, it's more bitter, I'll just tell you, but it's better for you. Going for a walk. So walking distracts and releases endorphins to help boost your mood and then increase your good nutrients. So regular meals will help balance blood sugar and nourish your body and your brain to control cravings. Um, I have found when I eat more protein, it helps control my cravings. Okay. So think about how can I add protein into my diet? Maybe you're eating more yogurt or some cheese, some meat. You don't have to go like the whole carnivore diet or Atkins diet, but just eating more something with protein in it a protein bar or something like that, can help to overcome that. Some cottage cheese, anything like that. And yes, Ningxia Red is huge for this. And I'll talk about that in just a second. Another way you can do it is set a timer for 15 minutes. Okay, so think, okay, I'm not going to eat that right now. I really want the cookie. I'm not going to eat the cookie, but in 15 minutes, if I still want it, I'll eat the cookie, right? So I set my timer and I drink my water and I go about whatever I'm doing. Probably in 15 minutes, you're not going to be hungry for the cookie. Okay, unless that's all you're thinking about during those 15 minutes. So get on to doing something else. So distract yourself, move on. True cravings only last a short time. And one of the most simple steps to nutrition is to eat mindfully and chew thoroughly. So, how many of us are on our phone while we're eating, right? We're just shoveling things in, or we're watching TV while we eat. And then we have no idea really how much we ate, or even really when we got full, right? So paying attention can help with that. Essential oils can partner in the breakdown of nutrients and support the body's ability to absorb what it needs and eliminate what it doesn't. So all essential oils can help with the absorption of nutrients. Keeping digestion regular with targeted nutrition and supplementation is always a good plan. And a couple of you have already mentioned Ningxia Red, but this is so important. It's a whole body tonic for every system in your body. It works for everything. It's a super fruit beverage. It supports healthy digestion with its natural cleansing action. It contains amino acids and antioxidants. We have Essential Zyme 4. This is a multi-enzyme complex formulated to aid the proper digestion of dietary fats, proteins, fiber, and carbohydrates. So it promotes optimal nutrient absorption. This is actually a blister pack. I thought I had one in my desk, but I couldn't find it. A blister pack, you take two of the capsules. It's amazing. Detoxine is also another great option for enzymes to help your body digest the food that we eat. The green omegas, okay, this is a great option. It's an omega-3 vegan supplement. It has one of the highest amounts of DHA and EPA. Let's see, it's coming from a pure plant source, which is the marine algae. And then they add flaxseed oil, which is naturally rich in ALA or alpha linolenic acid, and clove essential oils for its antioxidant properties. So we get all the benefits of fish oil without the fishy aftertaste. So if you haven't tried the green omegas, that's a great supplement. And Life 9, I think it's important to talk about, because gut health, anything nutrition, right? It goes through our gut. And if things aren't moving down there, we really need help with that. And a lot of us have toxic guts. So Life 9 is a high potency probiotic that combines 17 billion live cultures from 9 beneficial bacteria strains that promotes healthy digestion, supports gut health, and maintains normal intestinal function for overall support of a healthy immune and digestive system. Another supplement, and I don't have the right bottle, but it comes in a little glass bottle. It's called Digest and Cleanse. This is a great supplement for supporting healthy digestion and soothing gastrointestinal upset caused by stress, overeating, and toxins. And as you are changing your diet, perhaps from the standard American diet, or a lot of sugar, a lot of grains, that kind of thing, as we change it over to fruits and veggies, you're going to feel more bloated. You're going to maybe feel more gassy. You're going to, have some indigestion kind of things. And Digest and Cleanse is a great, easy supplement to take. It helps soothe the bowel, prevents gas, and stimulates stomach secretions, aiding in digestion. And then Comfortone. If things aren't moving, we talked about with the daily prebiotic fiber, or Comfortone is actually a capsule that you can take to support the health of the digestive system by eliminating residues from the colon and enhancing its natural ability to function optimally. It also promotes liver, gallbladder, and stomach health. So if you want to do a daily healthy metabolism capsule, you can actually take Juvacleanse. You're going to need Juvacleanse, Citrus Fresh, and grapefruit. Okay. So you can do 30 drops of Juvacleanse, put it into a full bottle of Citrus Fresh, shake it, and then drop 10 to 15 drops in a veggie capsule every morning. At night, you can add another 10 drops of grapefruit into a capsule and take at bedtime and see if that helps your metabolism. You should see greater benefits. Let's see you'll see greater benefits if you put your focus on a healthy eating plan and exercise as well. Other variations to help your metabolism, you guys, is just cutting out dairy, bread, and sugar for a week. And that seems kind of insurmountable sometimes, but it really does make a huge difference. All right. Last thing we're going to talk about quick is sunlight. And for decades, we've been told to be afraid of the sun. Well, and I think we've been told to, like, don't go outside unless you're covered up, right? Or put on your sunscreen always. But the sun is a life-giving primary source to our existence, and we really do need the sun on our skin. The sun is not the cause of our ill health. We are, okay? Our disconnect from nature is a disconnect to our life source, our spirit, emotions, and each other. When our deepest desires or greatest fears seem overwhelming and we don't take a deep breath or move our body, this lack of action keeps our thoughts stagnant. So action is the key to shifting a negative or stuck emotion, and getting outside is one of the best options. Getting outside and walking around barefoot on the grass, or in the dirt is is even better, because it's going to be grounding for you. Choosing a physical activity that requires you to be outdoors will naturally uplift your spirit and set fresh new thoughts in motion. And even rain and snow, okay, so even like tonight when it's raining here, will affect your sense of smell, sight, sound, touch, and confidence. So every element of an outdoor environment has qualities that we innately tune into, that releases endorphins and organizes the chatter in our heads. So it's good to be outside. It's good to be out in any kind of weather, really. But even if you're like, okay, I got 5 minutes, take off your shoes, go outside and walk around in the grass and the dirt. Okay. Now don't do it right after they spray your yard for all the, because we can't have a dandelion in our yard, right? Don't do it then, but you want to do it when you know that it's clean. If you're concerned about spending too much time in the sun, we do have an amazing SPF 50 mineral sunscreen that is reef safe, and it's free from harsh chemicals. And it really is a great sun exposure solution for the whole family. So if you're going to use sunscreen, use something that is actually beneficial to your body and to the environment. Because we drink so much Ningxia, this has been my sunscreen for years, okay, is Ningxia and Nitro. So, think about this, and I'm not saying go outside and just be out there for 10 hours and don't put anything on, right? But use common sense, but it's not, a lot of us are outside for maybe a half an hour. And we're not going to probably get a lot of damage if we're just out for a little bit. And in fact, our skin will absorb that vitamin D, and it will be healthier because of it. Okay. All right. That's a whole lot. And this went longer than I thought. So I'm glad we cut this class in half. I would love to hear what your takeaways are. Like what's one thing that you can implement in the next week or in the next 2 weeks that we talked about between sunlight, diet, your nutrition, water, and air? What's one thing you could do? It might be that I'm going to start my diffuser every day. That's what I'm going to do in the next 2 weeks, and make a commitment to yourself to do one thing that you just add as part of your routine, and you start doing it. Okay. If you are brand new to all this and you're like, okay, I have some questions, then get back with whoever shared this video with you or invited you to this class. because they are your contact person, and we are here to help support you and answer your questions. If you are like, okay, I really dig this, I want more information, I'm ready to get started on some of those products that you mentioned, then again, get back with whoever invited you and let them know, and they will walk you through getting started with Young Living. It's as easy as placing a 100 PV order, which is a point value. It's about usually equivalent to about $100, although we do have some really awesome starter collections. The person who shared this with you can also give you a code for 10% off, which is always a great, it's always great to save money. So make sure again that you start with, get connected with them. They'll also give you their link to that. Make sure that you stay connected with them. And then you can also put it on loyalty rewards, which means it comes to you every month. Not the same thing necessarily, but you get to choose products, and it just is kind of like the easy button for Young Living. So we are so excited that you're around. Yes, and Patsy, the sunscreen is on sale this month, in the month of May of 2024. 15% off on loyalty rewards. So you get to save money on loyalty and earn points for that if you take advantage of that. So, all right. The other thing you get when you get started with Young Living is you get a great community of people, and you get a lot of education and resources, because we want you to succeed. We want you to take what we teach you and implement it into your life. So again, we're so thankful that you're here. Thank you for joining us. And I hope that you'll get started. And so I can't wait to see you in the Young Living lifestyle.